Hello adventure groupies. This video is for a pre-departure checklist before we go out camping, so that when we get to our campsite we have some of the items operational. At the same time, if we're on the road and stuck somewhere, we have most of the stuff on the unit working, so we can survive off on the side of the road should there be traffic jams or whatever. So let's take a look and see what's needed in my pre-departure checklist. One of the first items that we do is we go ahead and we turn the switch to use. That brings on my 12 volts DC system. We will then go to the Firefly screen, and we have lights now. And one of the things that we'll do is start filling up the fresh water tank, so we have water on our trip. Since we're on the 12 volt system and we will be using the refrigerator, we'll go ahead and turn on the refrigerator. I have a sticker here that says set at 5 for optimum temperature of the refrigerator, but I will set it at a cooler value of 4, and then I can adjust it back to 5. So now our refrigerator is operating over the 12 volt system. I will not be turning on the freezer section. We're not taking anything this trip for the freezer, so freezer will be off. The thermostat for the freezer is there in the refrigerator, but again, we're not going to be using the freezer on this trip. And then we'll close the door and let it do its thing. We do not have a sunny day today right now. It's supposed to get sunny later today, so the refrigerator on 12 volts was just to get the refrigerator started. I will be hooking up an electrical source to the coach while we're sitting here in the driveway, allowing the refrigerator then to run on the inverter. And then when we unplug, the refrigerator should be up in temperature and should not be consuming that much energy. Going to the back of the rig, I have my electrical bag here, and I will hook up the electrical cords to Frankie. I have a dedicated 20 amp service here in my garage. I will plug in the extension cord. The 20 amps is not on a GFI, so will not trip. The 20 amp will supply enough power to the coach, even can run my air conditioning system. On the other end of this extension cord from my 20 amp service, I will plug up to this adapter plug. One end will go into the 110 volts on this side, and then I'll plug in the RV cord to this side of the adapter, and then the smart plug would be plugged into the coach itself. So this is what it will look like. On the side of the coach, we'll plug in our smart plug, and the blue light comes on. Let me know there's power coming into the coach itself. Once I plugged into the coach, the Xantrax converter system will be turned on. And at the same time, it's providing voltage to my batteries for charge. So I am now on shore power. Nothing is being consumed on my batteries. I am now hooking up the hose from my house to the water connection of the coach, and I can start filling the fresh water tank. The water is on, and now we'll watch as the freshwater tank starts filling up. At this point, we are full on our fresh water. One of the things I'd like to do also, before I unplug the water hose from the coach, is that I have these drop-in pods for the toilet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill the toilet black water with some water and then put a pod in there. And this way, as we're driving down the road, the water and the pod will actually clean some of the black tank residue that might be in there. But this way I have a wet black tank doing its job down the road like a washing machine, trying to clean out the stuff. With the pump on, I will fill this toilet up to where it's spraying 3 times. And that should give me about 2 gallons of water in my black tank. And then with that, I throw my pod in. And it will do its job. Right now I'm filling up the Truma water heater. It takes about 2.5 gallons of water. And then once it's full, I can start heating water. One of the items that I recommend for the rig is this damp rid. It actually takes moisture from the coach while it's sitting in storage. Does it work? There's your water. The moisture is pulled. And the way it works is there's white pellets that are inside here with the charcoal, and once the white pellets are all gone, then you replace the container with the new container. As you can see, based on me filling up the Truma water heater and putting water down the toilet, I went from 100% water down to about 60%. So I need to fill it back up to 100 and then we'll be good to go. Another area that we got to check is the oil and fluid level. We'll open up the hood. Pull the dipstick out, clean it. Go ahead and put it back in the hole. If you look, the oil is right there on level, so we are perfect with the oil.
What's that water from?
It's from this cow. This is what they have a problem with, these ProMasters leaking, so I got to figure out a way to put something there so that the water doesn't leak on top of the manifold. This is our antifreeze. Right now it's between min and max. That's our battery or our brake fluid level. And then you have your windshield wiper fluid right here, and there's fluid in there. Okay, the next one. Even though your coach has TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system, to show you what the pressure is of the air in the tire, I also carry a gauge with me. I just double check the pressures around all the 4 tires. And we are 65 psi. The front tires should be 65 psi. Back tires will be 70 psi. If my tire pressure is too low, I have an air compressor in the house or in the garage that I come out here and I will